All right, let's talk to the Eagles head coach, Nick Sirianni. Nick is brought to us by Bud Light. Join Ava Graham at Tom Foolery's this Thursday night for a special Eagles pep rally. Meet Swoop, the cheerleaders, win tickets to an Eagles home game and merchandise. The 11-2. Imagine that, 11-2 head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, Nick Sirianni. Nick, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hi, Nick.
Hello, Nick. So Nick, let's, obviously there's an awful lot going on off the field, but let's start with this reality. 9-game winning streak, 11-2, and congratulations to you and your squad. 4th consecutive year making the playoffs, and of course the first Eagles coach of all time to make the playoffs in your first 4 years. By the way, also the first time since 2004 that the organization made the playoffs 4 straight years. So congratulations to you, Nick, and your squad on the 4th straight year in the postseason.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, that means something. That's for sure. It's hard to do that, but you know what? We enjoyed the moment for a moment, and then it's time to move on. We as coaches, we talked about that scene in Bull Durham where he's like, "Hey, the moment's over, and let's go and let's keep going on." You know what I'm talking about? You know, part of the movie I'm talking about?
I don't actually. I was too focused on
look that up.
Suzanne Sarandon.
He makes
Sarandon.
he makes a good pitch or has a good inning or something, and Kevin Costner tells him, "Hey, the moment's over. Now let's move on and keep getting better."
Gotcha. Well, Nick, here's where it gets complicated. Obviously, the moment from Sunday led to a lot. I mean, holy mackerel! I can't believe it. With so much going on good, that, your organization, your team, some of the players are in a firestorm right now, but that's what it looks like to me. So let me just start with this. Were you disappointed with AJ's comments Sunday after the game?
I would hold back on firestorm. It's that we had a game where we, as an offense, as a passing offense, didn't play to the standard that we're capable of and want to play to, and all I looked at was what happened after the game was guys, saying, "Hey, we got to be better." And so, and that's true. We always are going to be honest with ourselves and say, what we feel there, that we got to be better. And that was the case as our passing offense on a Sunday. But you know what? The main thing is to always win the football game. However, by any means necessary. So our defense played really good and got some stops, when they needed to get stops, particularly on 4th down. Our run game and our offensive line really paved the way for that. The run game, the way it looked like, and Saquon and everybody involved, it takes the entire offense for the run game to look like that. And then also, again, there was moments that we had in the pass game that were really good, but, we can be better as a whole. But I think that you saw us pass the ball well in the red zone for 2 touchdowns. Which is hard to pass down there, and our guys did a great job of executing that down there. We had a couple passes, the 3rd and 13 in the 4-minute drill that we were in. I mean, that's a huge, huge play. And so there's positive lean on it. Was it up to our standard? No, but you do everything you got to do to win the game that week, and we were able to win the game.
So here's the thing, Nick. I hear you on the we got to be better. I get that, and I get that that's AJ's desire, but he pointed a finger at the quarterback. I mean, that is not good, and I got to imagine that creates a hell of a complexity for you as the head coach when the wide receiver points a finger at the quarterback.
Yeah, I didn't take it that way, and again, you can do anything and spin it any way, but I didn't take it that way, and I took it as we want to get better as a passing attack. AJ's part of the passing attack. And so we all want to be better at it. I want to be better at it. Jalen wants to be better at it. AJ wants to be better at it. And hey, Jalen and AJ are both really outstanding people and both really outstanding players. And I love that our players are wanting to get better and desire to get better. And that's what we talk about all the time is how we get better and how we do things and be able to do some things that are special.
Nick, how concerned are you that infighting on your team could cause an unraveling similar to 2023?
I think again, there's going to be speculation of what things look like because you guys don't have let's be honest, you guys don't have all the information.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
You don't get to see it on a daily basis. All I can judge this on, and this is very similar to, when people were asking me about Jalen and I's relationship or whatever it was. Like all I can judge things on is what I see on a daily basis. When I see, AJ and Jalen communicating about the game plan, eating lunch together every single day, praying with each other before the game. There's going to be speculation, and I get it. I get it, rightfully so, based on what's happened the last couple of days. But all you can do is judge what you see. I have more information. I see them every single day. I see what's going on in the building, and so you just have to me, we know what there's going to be noise, and I get and I obviously get it, just based off of what's happened here in the last couple of days, but. I go on my daily relationships with these guys, with myself. I go on the daily relationships that I see every single day that these guys spend 7 hours. Like you guys get to see 3 hours of it every day, and then a little bit after, every week and a little bit. I get to see 7 or 8 hours of it every day. And so, and then I can say this, like every week after a game, we put up. I think it's one thing that I felt. Okay, if you want to go back to last year, I felt like there wasn't joy sometimes after wins. And so one thing we talk about is just being able to celebrate together and how important that is. And so what we do is every Monday after the game, we show, our celebrations together, right? After big plays and kind of a montage of that. And I see so much joy from this team. And there's, we can say, hey, there's 23 with based off what happened the last couple of days. Hey, oh man, there's a little 2023 vibes. I see a lot of 2022 vibes based off of the way that kind of plays itself out. I just see joy. I really go back to Kenny Gainwell's touchdown against the Los Angeles Rams. You should have seen that sideline after he did that. The special teams has made a bunch of big time plays as a core unit, right? Like some big hits, and then we had one against Baltimore, and the joy that we're coming off of that. Like, I see those, and man, AJ and Jalen have celebrations that are on there quite a bit every time Jalen throws a touchdown to AJ, and so there's a little you can look at what you see in 1 week, but I'm looking at the big picture, and again, I see it as everybody wants to get better. I know there's room for an interpretation based off of some comments, but I can only go judge them based off of the things that I see on a daily basis.
Sure. Nick, you were a wide receiver yourself. Why does it seem like often the best wide receivers are also the ones who want to dominate so badly that they struggle to control their emotions about dominating so badly at times?
I love that about wide receivers. I've always loved that about. Let me just say this: I wasn't able to completely change a game the way AJ can change a game, and so I don't know exactly the feeling that when you know that nobody can cover you in the world. Listen, that wasn't me, so I don't have that same.
Yeah, that must be pretty cool.
Perspective of it, but it's got to be cool. But I think it's just. That position, you can, again, that you're in one-on-one matchups a lot. And there's a lot of one-on-one matchups. No, don't get me wrong, in the NFL, right? Sometimes it's, two offensive linemen working to two guys, but in receiver, you're out there by yourself. And sometimes you just get these one-on-one matchups and you can beat the guy across from you. You can change the game. And so I have never, and I've coached wide receivers a long time, I have never ever looked at it as a negative that they want the football. And even if, they're hey, I want the football, I want the football. Gosh, I think that's a great trait to have. Nobody says that, when Kobe Bryant wanted the ball at the end of the game or Michael Jordan wanted the ball at the end of the game, there was a bad, that's a good thing. That's a good, because they're so confident, and they have to be, just like a defensive back has to be confident. And so when a wide receiver wants the ball, I think that just shows you the confidence that he has. Now you got to do everything as far as the team in mind, no doubt about it. But I've never ever looked at it as a negative that they want the football, that AJ wants the football, because he knows he can change the game. And I know this, AJ is one of the best people that I've coached. Best person that one of the best people. However you say that, I don't know the word people or person there. He is a great person. I will say that. and I know we'll continue to get better. And AJ and Jalen, I'm grouping them both in there, are two of the best at their positions in the NFL. And the games have looked a little different this year with how we've won, but I have no doubt about it that we are going to need our passing game to, win us a game and win, help us move the chains like it always does. And it's just looked different at times this year.
Yeah, Nick, the only thing I'll say, the Kobe analogy and all that works for me, except Kobe and Shaq broke up. You know what I mean? I mean, they did. They broke up because
Michael and Scotty didn't.
Yeah, but their friendship has. But they got 6 titles. They got 6 titles in.
Michael and Scotty, that gets weird. That gets weird, Nick.
That did get weird. All right.
No, hold on.
Sure, go ahead, John.
How did the Panthers unsynchronize the offense, to use Jalen's word, and how does the team keep everything synchronized moving forward?
Yeah, every game's a little different. I won't get into the secrets of what we felt like they did to stop this or stop that. I know that we ran the ball very effectively, and sometimes the amount of runs that you have and the amount of attempts you have in the pass game, right, are different. The way the game's being played, Jalen still had 110 quarterback rating. I mean, how many guys had that last week? I know the ball wasn't in the air a lot. Because of the way the game was played out. But there was a lot of things that were very efficient in that game there. And so, again, you go out and you try to win every single game. I know this is super cliche, but you go out and try to win every single game. Every game calls for a little different approach as coaches, as players. And the main thing was that we won, and we did that.
Nick, what about the kicking situation? I know yesterday you said you're pretty locked into Jake Elliott, but I mean, in a week or two, if this doesn't pick up, you got to be concerned, right?
We take it one day at a time. Every single time, I can't look ahead and say if this doesn't happen, because the amount of things that you could say, well, if this doesn't happen, if that doesn't happen, I mean, there's a lot of things like that, and so. I know that it takes everybody in the kicking game. It takes the operation, it takes the snap, it takes the hold, it takes the protection, it takes the kick, right? And so, it's never just in this game. I know that it's always you want to be able to assign blame or do this, but in this game, it is it's best team sport there is. That's why I love it so much, and it takes everybody, and so. We all got to be better as a whole, and I have so much confidence in Jake. Again, excuse me. You get to see 3 hours each week, right? I get to see it in practice over and over and over and over again. Again, why do we run certain play or a certain defense in a game? Because you think that's what's going to work. That's part of the game plan, but you build confidence in it. Excuse me, as practice goes. And then, it's the same thing in the kicking game. So, got a ton of confidence in him. I know that he's been a special player. As you look at it this year, he's done some really good things this year and has had some unfortunate misses. Had one blocked as well, which isn't on him. And so, again, confidence is built through the success of games and what happens in practice. And I still have a ton of confidence in Jake Elliott.
Your confidence is important for him to gain confidence. His confidence is what I'm so concerned about.
Sure. Yeah. No. And in moments where it's time to kick, I will. I'll have utmost confidence in him. That doesn't mean we don't go for it when I feel like we should go for it, or punt it when I feel like we should punt it. Every game, again, you go into every game and you have your hey, this is what I'm going to do in this scenario. But every moment of each game calls for a different, you have to have a baseline. Here's what I'm doing here. Here's what I'm doing here. And this is in every situation in the game, not just field goal kicking. But you have to have a baseline there and then react to how the game's going, how the opposite quarterback's playing, how your defense is playing, how the wind is. There's so many things that play into it. I wish I could get into everything with you on all those situations. It'd be fun. It'd be a fun conversation to be able to explain all that. Obviously, for competitive reasons, I won't.
Yeah.
But it does start, like you said, it does start with the confidence that you have in your kicker and I have a ton of confidence in Jake Elliott.
All right, Nick, one final thing here. So, with what we were discussing at the start of this conversation, does what has occurred lead to a meeting that you hold with AJ and Jalen? And does the entire situation, in light of Brandon stepping in and making his comments last night, lead to a team meeting next time you guys reconvene?
We team meeting every day. I talk to these guys every day. I talk to these guys in groups every day. So I talk to these guys all the time about whatever's going on in their lives, whatever's going on in the team. That's part of the connection that you're trying to build. And why is connection so important? Connection's so important in moments like where you feel like, okay, it didn't go as planned. Connection's so important in moments like, okay, maybe from the outside world they think this or they think that. That's why connection's so important when you're in a winning streak, when you're in a losing streak. Connection's the key. Like, it's not the best groups of individuals that wins. It's the best teams. And so we're constantly working on that as a team. And if I want our guys to work on their connection with each other, then it starts with me, and they got to see me connecting with them first. And so that's a constant. I'll spend an hour or so on the phone today with different guys, like I do every Tuesday.
All right, Nick. Well, listen, good luck as you navigate it. I know it's a challenge, but 9-game winning streak, you guys have been on quite a roll, and the city certainly wants to see it continue. Congratulations once again on the postseason, and good luck versus Pittsburgh on Sunday.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
you got
Nick.
it. All right, Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni. I'll say this: he's gotten a lot better at the interviews and press conferences.
He's great at it, man.
Than he was.
Like, he handled that exactly how I would have wanted him to.
Yeah,
exactly.
He did a good job. All right, your reaction to it. Now, ultimately, the key is to obviously dig in with the guys behind the scenes. But
if he handles it with us that way, that should give people confidence of how he handles it with the guys.
Look, I think he's improved at aspects of his job. And one of the most glaring aspects he's improved on is since that introductory press conference, he's gotten a lot better with press conferences and interviews. It's a fact. Your reaction to it all. Joe DeCamera, John Ritchie, what a day on 94 WIP.